Materia Ture in reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. New Zealand, take note. If you want decent, fair tenancy laws in this country, you must change the government in 2017. There is no doubt that the only way that thousands of New Zealand families, 450,000 households in this country, will only get a fair deal for their rental agreements, their tenancies, if you change the government. Because this National Party has proven themselves tonight that they think that a home for New Zealand families, the right to a home for New Zealand families is, quote, tripe. That is what they said tonight, that a home for New Zealand families who have to rent is tripe. This is what National believes. It is a shocking admission from the National Party tonight that they don't believe that renting families are entitled to a decent home. They think it's fine for rental families who are struggling every day to pay the rent and the power bills and put food on the table to have less rights so that some wealthy people get away with having all the power. Because that is what the National Government has told New Zealand tonight. New Zealand, if you want fair tenancy laws, we must change the government in 2017. Sir, at the end, in the few minutes that I have left, I do want to say some thank yous. First of all, of course, to my Labour colleagues, New Zealand First colleagues, and as I understand it, the Māori Party colleagues who have not spoken tonight, who will be supporting this legislation. And it's very clear that this is the side of the House that believes that New Zealand families, all New Zealand families, deserve a fair go with their housing, with their right to build a home. So I also want to thank Andrew King and Terry LeGros from the New Zealand Property Investors Federation, because I have had numerous meetings with them over the last 6 months to talk about the provisions of this bill, to work through the issues that they have as landlords, and we have built a really good relationship over this last little period of time, where we've been sharing information about what tenants need, what landlords need, and what is happening on the ground. And I've really appreciated their input and support for the provisions of this bill. They were committed to this bill going to Select Committee. They had no problem with that because it gave them also a chance to talk about the kinds of issues that landlords face in New Zealand. And landlords have issues too. Good landlords have issues too that we could have resolved. But the National Party has stopped that conversation from happening. The National Party has stopped landlords from being able to come to the Select Committee and talk to us about the kinds of issues that need dealing with. Like the issue of methamphetamine, where I offered the member the opportunity to bring that issue to this bill and Select Committee. Like the issue with the Osaki case, which has raised serious concerns for landlords. Also, I accepted that we needed to talk about that as well, alongside improving the rights of tenants to be able to make the house they paid huge amounts of money for, to make that house their home. Why is it that National has decided that only some families are entitled to a home? Why is it that National has said that only a select few families are entitled to build a home in their communities, when we know that a stable home means stable employment for the grown-ups in that household, when we know that a stable home means stable education for the children in those households, when we know that a stable home means good health and well-being for all of the people in that household? Why is it that National says that that is only the entitlement of the wealthy few? Because that is what National has said tonight. New Zealand, I urge you. We have families who are in dire crisis in housing. Thousands who are homeless, moving from place to place, desperately trying to find a decent place to live where they can afford, where they can put down some roots and take care of their children. The Green Party has put forward a bill that is supported by Labour, by New Zealand First and by the Māori Party that would help deliver that stable housing for you. The block, the barrier, the hammer that has stopped that from happening has been the National Party. We cannot continue to allow National to lock our families out from the decent, fair treatment that they deserve. So New Zealand, I'm asking you, when you get the opportunity, next year, in 2017, vote to change the government. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
The question